This week we're looking at the circular flow of money and goods throughout our economy. So before we can start measuring how well our economy is doing, we have to understand how the markets within it are related. So to start us off, let's look at why prices are what they are. So for example, just this week, Apple has released the iPhone X. And in the US, the iPhone X is $1,000. So with the exchange rate, we're looking at a phone in Canada over $1,200. So how can they get away with this? How can the price be so high? Well, we're going to look at this week is supply and demand and how those impact price. And we'll start with the product market, which is a market for a good. So we're looking at the iPhone X. Well, what would cause the price of an iPhone to be higher with this new one than with previous ones? Well, it's supposed to have a bunch of new features. And when something is new, more people want it, right? We have a preference. There's a change in the number of us who are willing to buy it because it's cool, because of the brand name, because of its new features. And so this increases demand. So if more of us are fighting each other to get it, then that's going to drive up the price. At the same time, we have to look at the cost to make the iPhone. So previous versions of the iPhone, like the iPhone 6S, were selling for about $700. It costs between $200 and $300 Canadian to make. Well, that was based on the features that phone had. So there's a hefty profit margin in there for Apple. But this new one, this new iPhone X, if you've checked it out, has face recognition, which means it needs to be able to identify thousands of points on your face so it can identify you. And supposedly it can identify you if you have a beard, if you change your hair, if you're wearing glasses or not wearing glasses. It has that ability, which means it needs a faster processor, it needs a higher technology. Well, that costs the company more. So if it costs more to make the iPhone, then we expect the price of the iPhone to go up as well. So likely with the iPhone X, the reason it's so much more expensive than other iPhones in the past is the increase in demand for newer technology, that new and different, and that decrease in supply that comes from the extra cost. So if it costs more to make it, makes the price go up as well. So this level we're looking at prices and quantities in the product market. And we look at the product market, we're looking at different goods and services from an iPhone to a can of Pepsi and all kinds of other products. When we look at the circular flow of money and goods, we're starting to look at how the product market impacts other markets. So we have, for example, the labor market, the market where we sell our labor, so we sell our time and go to work, and then we get paid a wage for it. So businesses demand our labor and we supply it. Well, the labor market impacts the product market. Markets in our economy are related. So, for example, we could look at how the labor market, the availability of workers, would impact the product market, the market for, say, hamburgers at McDonald's. Well, if there is high unemployment, there's lots of people looking for work, then if you're McDonald's, you have lots of people to choose from. So who do you hire? You hire the best for the least. So you want to pay the least you can for your workers. So that means that high unemployment causes wages to fall. Well, if wages are lower, cost to the business goes down. If it costs McDonald's less to make their product, they're going to make more of it. And that surplus of burgers they have to get rid of will put downward pressure on the price. So when wages fall, prices of goods fall. And if there's a shortage of workers, so if you think about Alberta, say back in 2005, the unemployment rate was super low. We couldn't find enough workers. So what do you do if you can't find a worker? Or how do you keep a good worker? Well, you have to pay them a higher wage. And if you pay a higher wage, then that means the cost to the business will go up, which means they can't afford, at the current prices, to have the same number of workers if the workers are costing more, so they have to have less workers or they have to charge more for their product. So if wages go up, for example, we raise the minimum wage, then the price of hamburgers will also go up. So we can see the relationship between these two markets. We'll look more at the relationship between markets this semester. Take a look at the relationship between markets in this level here.